Crypto is having a very bad time right now. What's the reason for this? The reason behind this is Ethereum. A lot of altcoins are coupled directly with the Ethereum price. If Ethereum isn't doing well, all of those altcoins tend to do bad as well. Because this is how altcoin trading works. Under the hood, we've got a lot of liquidity pools that are one-on-one coupled with wrapped Ethereum. So the US dollar price of an altcoin is actually determined by its relationship in the liquidity between the alts and wrapped Ethereum. So if Ethereum goes down, the altcoin as a direct consequence goes down as well. And unfortunately, Ethereum had a very bad time, especially today it's bleeding. What we are seeing here is the Ethereum dominance. So how much of all of crypto is in ETH, and that peaked in December of 2021 at roughly 22%, and now it's at 13%. Here's another way to look at something very similar. This is the Ethereum price relative to the Bitcoin price. And this blue arrow that we see here is the merge. This is when Ethereum moved from proof of work to proof of stake. All the Ethereum miners had to turn off their rigs, and since then Ethereum underperformed Bitcoin by more than 50%. A lot of Ethereum bulls were hoping for the demand by traditional finance through the Ethereum ETF. Unfortunately, the numbers don't show any demand. Since the launch of the Ethereum ETF, we actually saw net outflows of 190,000 ETH. So the launch of the Ethereum ETF added selling pressure to the game, almost $500 million worth. And so now the ETH ETF is pretty much dead. Initially, we've seen outflows from Grayscale and inflows into the new instruments, but now we see neither inflows nor outflows. Things have come to a halt. And so I was wondering, if the momentum around Ethereum is that bad and it pushes down all of those altcoins, is there maybe a turnaround where Ethereum as a whole might be still cheap? So we are not looking at momentum anymore, we are simply looking at valuation. At what value might Ethereum still be a good buy, even though momentum isn't great? For Bitcoin, I like to look at the average cost basis, right? I like to look at what on average did people pay for Bitcoin to then see is the market in aggregate in losses or in profit. And if the market in aggregate is in losses, then it might be a good time to buy. This video is sponsored by the premium membership. I never take any money from any crypto project. I never take any affiliate links from centralized exchanges. I never pump and dump coins. Instead, I offer valuable tutorials in the premium membership. Feel free to check it out. So here's that metric for Bitcoin, and we're going to look at this for Ethereum in a second. So that's the realized price. Whenever the current price is below the realized price, we tend to have a very good buying opportunities. This happened at the end of the Silk Road and Mt. Gox collapse. It happened after the ICO collapse. It also happened during the COVID crash, and it also happened after the implosion of FTX. There were always very nice buying opportunities where the current price was below the realized price. Currently, the realized price for Bitcoin, by the way, is at 31,570. Now here's that same chart for Ethereum, and there's a good chance you've never seen this because this is behind a paywall. This shows the realized price for Ethereum. We see a very similar setup. It tends to be a good time to buy Ethereum whenever we are below, but it doesn't necessarily point towards the absolute bottom of a bear market. Because check out the December of 2018, the price went all the way down to $85 when the realized price was still at $250. So this is not necessarily the absolute turnaround, but it might be a good time to potentially dollar cost average in. Currently, unfortunately, we are not yet below the realized price. The realized price is at $1,911. We are currently at $2,389. So still roughly a 20% drop from here. We can also go one step further. We can have a look at the current gains relative to the volatility of the asset. So how much is the market in profit or in losses relative to volatility? That's the market value to realized value z-score. This is again here for Bitcoin. We tend to be at nice buying opportunities whenever the price is below the realized price. We tend to be at good selling opportunities whenever the current price is 7 times above the current volatility. Here's the same kind of chart for Ethereum. The peaks tend to get lower over time, even though we we already adjust for volatility. That's somewhat true for Bitcoin as well. And so maybe we've already seen the peak in Ethereum at $4,000 and we are going below the realized price again. I was buying the dip in Ethereum and I was hoping for the turnaround, at least at those depressed levels of June of 2022. We had only been briefly at those levels. We never closed a day that low. Now we are even below that and I'm starting to lose hope. I bought over here and I'm likely going to sell very soon again. I'm taking that 6-7% loss relative to the rest of crypto if we are not suddenly bouncing in the next few days. If nobody is buying at those depressed prices, then when will the buying happen? Probably when we are below the realized price, probably when Ethereum is really, really cheap. And so because of that, I don't think it looks that nice for the altcoins either. Again, many altcoins are directly coupled with Ethereum in their price discovery. Not necessarily the altcoins that are mainly traded on centralized exchanges versus the US dollar, but for all the decentralized traded altcoins, we do have a direct coupling. And thus the likelihood to see continued red if Ethereum can't bounce is, I believe, pretty high. Again, things could start to turn around once Ethereum gets cheap again below $1,900. Before that, I'm not sure what could turn this around. It's probably not traditional finance. All we can hope for is that enough crypto bros are buying this bottom. And I contributed my part and it didn't work. And I will wait for a few more days. If that doesn't help, then I will jump the sinking ship. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. In case you've got Telegram, then feel free to join us. There's a link down below. Looking very much forward to chatting with you.